my name is Mihai Jakob. I'm a Power Platform developer focusing mostly on Power Pages solutions at DigPacks. So as the previous slide implies, we've been looking at the problem of the NHS waiting list that has been in the news recently as well. So we know, and this has been mentioned already, the NHS waiting list has hit 7.48 million in November 2024. There's about 6.2 million individual patients waiting for treatment. About 3 million of those will be looking at wait times of between 18 to 56 weeks for care. But we do recognize that in some circumstances, some patients will no longer need to be on the wait list, but there is no simple and easy way for them to maybe opt out or confirm that they still want to be on the waiting list. So we were looking for a solution to help us identify patients who no longer need to be on the waiting list, so that we could hopefully work to shorten wait lists and potentially reduce waiting times for patients. If I could ask you to go to the next slide, please, Josh. Thank you. Yeah, so as I was mentioning, we've worked on a Power Pages solution to provide a single unified interface for waitlist management. Being built in Power Pages and leveraging Power Platform and the Dataverse, there is the potential for integration with your EPR or APRs of choice. We're able to provide proactive patient reminders for confirmation on waitlist status and but we do have the ability to confirm and decline patient waitlist eligibility, allowing patients to log into Power Pages, into the Power Pages site. We're hoping that using this will reduce waitlist and create a more streamlined and better patient journey. And leveraging Power Pages, again, we can trigger any internal processes as need be based on portal actions that the users make. So now I'm going to share my screen very quickly so I can give you a quick demo of the solution itself. All right, I'm just going to share my screen. And if I could just confirm that you are able to see this. Yep, lovely. Thank you very much. Great. Okay, so this is the landing page of the portal that we've built. We use this as a way to navigate throughout the site, either using these cards or using the navigation bar up top. We have a number of options for different pages that we can navigate to. For the purposes of the demo today, we're going to focus on the waitlist management, waitlist optimization piece. But as you can see, there is the potential of integrating multiple services into the same portal. As this portal is currently in development, as I go through and after we do welcome any feedback, any suggestions for how we could improve it. Just one final thing before I move on. I just wanted to show you very quickly that this portal is also responsive. So regardless of the size of the device that the patient uses, it can be seen on a tablet, it can be used on a mobile phone as well. So regardless of how your patients want to get into this portal, they will be able to do so. Now, if I move on to the waitlist, so this is the waitlist. This is the waitlist page. We have a little header up top, some description about what the page does. All of these can be customized fairly easily depending on customer needs. Next up, we have this little dashboard, I like to call it. So there are 3 tiles which allow us to just at a quick glance see what we have pending, what we have declined, and what we've confirmed. This is a fairly responsive dashboard, and you'll see that as I work with the functionality below, these will change. So moving onwards, this is the waitlist table, and this is where the patient will be able to see what waitlists they are currently on. So the table has a number of columns, procedure name, a waitlist confirmed column. So this is where it tells us whether the waitlist is pending, whether it's been confirmed by the patient, whether it's been declined, and so on. Hospital, referrer, reference number. Once again, these can be customized. We can add extra fields, we can remove fields, fairly easy to customize. And then we have this this number of menu buttons on the right-hand side, which allows the patient to interact with their waitlist. So I have a hernia surgery here, and it's currently pending. So let's say that I would like to confirm this. I would like to stay on the waiting list. If I just hit that button, we have a little pop-up here which asks us whether we're sure we want to do this. And this is mostly designed so that the patients don't do any actions that they didn't necessarily intend to do. But if I'm sure I want to confirm the wait list, I will just click this button. And there we go. My hernia surgery has been confirmed. The confirm button has disappeared. So it's all good. Just very quickly refresh the page. You can also see this dashboard updating with a 1 confirmed. Now, on the same note, let's imagine that on e-surgery, maybe we've just gone private with that. We don't really want to do that anymore. To be on that wait list, we can just as easily go and decline it. Same sort of thing, pop up. Am I sure I want to decline it? Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and decline that. And this has also been updated now. As you can see, the confirm and the decline button has disappeared. The idea being that once you've declined your place on a waiting list, ideally you shouldn't be able to go back and confirm it or anything like that. And similarly, let's say on the decline or on the confirmed, if there are any processes that we want to trigger in the back end, then we can attach those processes to a decline event or a confirm event and do extra checks or get a human to interact with that waitlist record or anything like that. The third button that we have here is the View Details button. So all of the records have this. And this is yet another pop-up where we are able to display any extra information that we haven't displayed in the list itself. This can, once again, be customized to needs, depending on what we want users to be able to see in here. This is currently just a read-only list. So users can only read the data, but if we want to give them the ability to maybe interact with some fields, maybe add some extra details in there, then absolutely we can also do that. Okay. Now, a few other bits of functionality, I guess, of this list. First of all, we can sort the list using any of these columns. Just like that, and the list sorts automatically. And we can also search. So any bits of data that we have in each column, we can go and search based off of that. So if I just want to search for my knee surgery here based on reference number, there we go. We are able to do that. Okay, and as I was interacting with my wait lists, you will see here that we have another table, and this is an audit sort of table. Every time a patient interacts with their wait list, whether they confirm or they decline their place on the wait list, a waitlist history record is being created. So this is for us to be able to maybe keep track of, when has a patient declined or confirmed their wait list. Again, we have a View Details pane where we have some extra bits of information so that it allows a trust to maybe keep track of what's been happening on the portal, and maybe someone in the back office can also go and check in case there are any questions or any issues. Okay, and as I was mentioning, this page is also functional on a mobile. However, for some reason, okay, there we go. There we go. This is what the page would look like on a mobile. So we have the navigation up front, up top. We have various bits of data. We have our dashboard. The list here, as you can see, we have taken away a number of columns just because this list is scrollable horizontally. The more columns you have, the more difficult it is to get to your menu here and interact with your wait list. Same for the waitlist history. We've taken a number of columns out. Okay, right, and this is the waitlist functionality. Now, if I very quickly just sign out here, I'd like to show you how we could get a patient to get into the portal and what the journey would be like. So in the back end, using Power Automate, I've built a little automation which goes into the system, and it looks for people who have pending wait lists. And based off of that, each patient will get an email very similar to this to say that our records show that you're yet to confirm your place in the following NHS lists, and here's a list of all of the ones that you have pending. If you want to confirm or decline that you want to stay on the wait list, then the patient will get a link here which they can access by clicking on it, and they'll be taken to the same page. Now, when they get to this page, they have two options. They can either sign in if they have an existing account, or they can register if they don't have an account. So for registration, we're asking patients to provide an email, their NHS number, and their date of birth, just to make sure that the patient is who they say they are. So the patient would go and put in some details here. So here's an email address. Here is we'll just put an NHS number like so, and let's put a date of birth of, let's say, 1st of May 2000, something like that. Put a password in. Okay, and we click register. Oh, okay, so we couldn't actually match the details because maybe the NHS number isn't correct or the date of birth isn't correct. So if I go and just add something else for an NHS number, potentially the correct NHS number, then the system will let us register. So this is just to, I guess, do some validation beforehand to make sure that the user is who they say they are, and we don't just let anyone get into the portal. Now, assuming I have all of the details correct, click register, and the portal will let the user register. Once you log in for the first time, you're redirected to the profile page. So the profile page is a page where we can give the user a bit of information about themselves and just make sure that we have all of the information necessary about them, and potentially give them the opportunity to maybe change something. So we have these few fields here. So the NHS number and the date of birth, they have been matched. They came through to the profile page, and we're just going to fill in the first name and the last name of the user. And we have some options for controlling how we want to be contacted by the organization. So let's say I don't really want to be contacted via fax and mail. I'll just untick those. And we have some other options here for changing password and changing email of the account and so on. Now, if I just very quickly hit update, once we've updated and we're happy with the information we've provided, then the portal automatically takes us to the waitlist. So we're not going to the home page. I've tried to keep it as streamlined as possible so that the users can, the users don't have to do as many clicks as possible. There is nothing in this account because I've just created this account, but in a normal live scenario, there would be some data here that the user can start to interact with straight away. And this is the end of my demo. I just have one more slide, and that's it for me. So I'm going to stop sharing. If I could just ask Karen to share the screen for me, please. Share the... Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah, so for the last part of my presentation, I just wanted to show you that whilst we have the Power Pages side of things and we're able to let the patient interact with their data and their wait lists as needed, we're also able to build a solution in the back end to allow admin staff or whoever is responsible for wait lists to manage it their end, because sometimes we may have cases where patients aren't really able to log into a portal. They maybe don't really have the IT knowledge necessary to create an account. Maybe they don't have an email address or so on and so forth. We could also build something, some sort of an application in the backend using Power Platform to allow admin staff to maybe take calls and create wait lists, confirm them on behalf of the patient, decline them on behalf of the patient, and fill in any information as necessary to support the back office side of things and all of those processes. That's it. Thank you very much. That's the end of my demo and presentation.